Welcome to the 180 podcast, brought to you by BTFU, Pacific Championships, the Ashes. We've got the November 1 coming up as well. Plenty to talk about, as usual, in the rugby league world. And joining me with his glass of water, Reni Matua, who just said he wouldn't start the podcast until he had his glass of water. Are you sweet now?
Just trying to stay hydrated, Braith. Is that all right with you,
You also
mate?
said you were sick this morning.
I am crook.
Can you tell us what you're sick from?
I think it's from the aircon at Triple M on Sunday. What are you laughing at?
I fucking heard it all now.
We can get into it.
You are sick from the aircon at Triple M.
It was blowing on the back of my head for fucking 4 hours. You know the game went for 4 hours.
It sucks shit.
Right.
That was funny.
You nine ball.
Made your debut with Triple M.
Mate,
called the game. Samoa.
Let's talk about it soon.
And Tonga.
Yeah, that was a disaster.
And
Fuck, it
there's
was
a weather delay for an hour and a half.
Oh my god.
I watched the whole movie on Netflix.
Bro.
In the weather delay, turned it back, and it was
So I did Triple M Saturday, and that was the start of there were problems because Maroon was away. Gussie, shout out to Gussie. Hope you're okay, mate. I know he's family issues, family with one of his parents. This might be sick or whatever, but so we get there, and then they've brought in an anchor from Brisbane, and pretty much Josh Mansell had to anchor the show, and I was like, what is happening here? So that was stressful.
Yeah.
And then
you all right?
It's fucking draining, your job, mate. It is draining. It's not even funny.
So hang on, you did one weekend of radio
Yeah.
and you just rattled.
Well, okay, so then we go into Triple M Sunday live call. I'm asking you for advice all week.
Yeah.
What do? Get in, get out. Say what you need to say, get out. And I'm thinking, all right. So I get into the studio. They got the monitors. You got the producer. I'm like, boys, what do I do here? Look, I'm just going to ease into it. Maroon just throws to me straight away. And you realise, watching the live game, you're trying to download everything that's going on in front of you. You've got Maroon talking to me. I've got the producers behind me. I've got an aircon screaming down the back of my neck.
Who even notices the aircon?
Fucking I did, because I was freezing. And then when you have to try and call a live play or do a replay, because you're not seeing it. You don't see the landscape in front of you. You're going off monitors. And as you know, it's stressful.
Yeah, there's an art to it. There's an art to it, and it takes time. It takes
heavy.
It takes it's like anything, After a few calls, you get the gist of it.
No, I was just thinking about one thing I said in the call.
What'd you say?
So fucking cringe. I was watching The Last Dance.
Yeah.
And they were talking about.
Oh, he's got in for a big quote in his first call. Oh, that's one thing you can't do.
Yeah. So there was one thing when there was I was watching it just before I went into the studio. I was just watching
get up for the
No,
call?
yeah. And they were talking about Dennis Rodman, and when he was at the Pistons, and one of the coaches said, "Don't put a saddle on a Mustang." And I said something along the lines of, "There's 34 fucking Mustangs out there." You can't put a saddle on. You've got to put a saddle on some of these players because it's Test football. You got to bring them back. And when I said it, I was like, "Why the fuck did you?" Because I didn't go in there planning it. It just came to my head.
But that's all right.
It just sounded cringe, bro.
No, it probably didn't sound as bad as you think. You always, when you call games, you think it's 10 times worse than what it is. But you got a good reception. We went for a walk in Coogee the day after. Everyone was hitting you up about it.
Well, I
didn't know so many people listen to Triple M.
Well, you work for them.
Yeah, well,
Maybe because of you.
I do work. I do work for them, but I unless I'm not in the car, I only listen to radio if I'm in the car. Do people listen to radio at home?
I don't know.
They must.
Well, because they cut the coverage, I think, on Channel 9.
That's why, I reckon.
Because of the rain delay. It was an hour and 38 minutes.
It was on Fox, I think.
It was.
Yeah, so, look, I'm giving you your flowers here, Braith. I didn't understand the gravity of what I was getting myself into, and I enjoyed it. And I ended up in. If you came in pockets of the broadcast, I'm sure it sounded okay.
Yeah, it would sound good.
But if you listen to the complete broadcast, there was a few dead ends I ended up in, and I was just going.
That happens. It happens. But I forgot you were doing it, because I'm messaging you during the game. You were writing back. I'm thinking.
You thought I was on the drink, didn't you?
No, I just thought you were somewhere watching it on the drink. Yeah. And then
I did plan on having a drink until the rain delay.
Yeah.
And I went home fucking stressed. I had headaches and went to bed.
Okay, let's move on.
685, baby.
Mate, that's what it's like to work, Ren.
Mate, I've worked hard my whole life, buddy.
No. Don't get angry at me.
No.
All right, let's bring in Aaron Mace for the check-in. I'm not sure I even want to check in with him this week. Should we check in with him?
Let's check in. This is fun.
How are we?
Groundhog Day over here, Mace.
It is not Groundhog Day. as Reni knows, I've been through a little bit, and I've set myself a target which you believe I cannot do.
Tell everyone what the target is.
12 months of sobriety. So it's my birthday on Saturday.
So
I turn. Wait, let me say.
Okay. Yeah,
so it started on Monday. So I turned 35 on Saturday, and everyone said, "Wait till after your birthday." And I went, you know what? I want to start my birthday sober, go through all of it, and turn 35 sober, and then if I want to,
it's a beautiful thing, Aaron.
It is.
What's the Unibet market for this?
There's no betting. I will do it. When I did 3 months last year.
I'll give you the market. I'll give you the market.
Here we go.
All right. For him, going a year without alcohol is about, I'd say, 100 to 1.
It's a bit more than that. Yeah.
So, all right. So, are you willing to donate something to charity?
I'll donate money to charity. I'll donate.
Here we go.
$5,000 to your charity, whatever charity that is.
I'll match that.
There we go.
If you can go a year without alcohol.
Done.
And anything else.
Yes.
Whatever that may be.
So
not
that's
suggesting that
complete
you take anything else.
Charlie Sheen?
No, I'm not suggesting anything else.
Tyler
But I'm talking.
He did put me on the Sheen last year.
I'll only do this, though, if we can test you.
That's fine.
Ooh.
We have to test him.
Yeah.
We get the drug kits.
I'll be there with Braith aside.
I might even hair follicle you. I don't want to see your knob, though, when you're doing the test like that. The
Test for Cadbury?
Chocolates. Yeah, okay. So that's a big step here for Mr. Rehab.
Yes, Mr. Rehab.
Okay, because everyone really, let's be honest, everyone listening to this podcast will be going, "Oh, he said this every week for the last 12 weeks, 16
Not
weeks."
every week.
Mate, your percentage
There's
of I'm off it now, and I'm a new man, and I've
Lost 5 kilos.
Mate,
I have lost 5. They're off still. Held
5.
them off.
You've lost 5 for a month.
You might have found them.
No, I'm in good shape, mate.
All right, I'm going to Bali on Thursday.
You are going to Bali.
You're going to Samoa Friday.
I am.
Yeah.
6
Friday.
weeks.
Yeah.
So
I've got a flexi ticket, so it could be longer, it could be shorter. I don't know.
Right.
I'm excited, mate.
Brittany might not come, but he might find love, family.
It's not, mate.
I heard that story before too.
That's come from you, not from me. But no, I've got the whole 6 weeks planned out. Mum and sister and my niece come week 2.
Nice.
There's plenty of things to do.
What are you going to do?
I've got a few non-negotiables, right?
Yeah.
The first one is I've got to do 5Ks a day, at least walk or run.
Yep.
I'm going to get an Apple Watch tomorrow. I'm going to be one of those fucking lemons.
I've got one of them, mate.
I know, but I never thought I'd go down that path, but I want to track it.
It's called accountability, right?
Accountability. It's consistency for me.
So you're going to get a watch? And
I've got an hour of lessons every day through an app. So I want to learn. Look, I'm not going to pick it up in 6 weeks, but I just want to. I know more than I actually give myself credit for. So lessons, just for greetings and stuff. I'm going to go see. See, my tour is not my last name. My tour is my grandfather's first name. My last name is Fuimono.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just learned about this.
Why didn't you take that name?
I don't know why Dad came over with my tour, but it's on his birth certificate, Fuimono, and it's just like, he just came over here. His name's Reni, and he came over and told everyone his name's Danny.
That's quite a common name, isn't it? For my owner.
Yeah.
Like a few footy players have got.
Well, there's one other, but he's not. That's extended family, so I've sort of tracked where he's from. I think he's from Sobriety, but Dad's from Salani in Falialili. So I know that side of the family and my family in town, but I don't know Dad's side of the family. So Grandpa, like Dad didn't know his dad, but he's a Poipoi Mai. So I'm going to go track down that village where that name comes from and do a little bit of research on family and stuff. So anyone in the comments, I know we've got a few. I copped something about my history lessons with around Tonga and Samoa. So
Well, they didn't like it.
I was just paraphrasing, and I just didn't. There was a few things I didn't get out there, but someone corrected me in the comments. So if anyone knows any of those names in the just in the comments, just write to me and I'll.
Yeah, my name was Anastasakis, you know.
Anastasakis, I know that.
Katastorsa Palagolo.
Yeah, so what?
You know what I'm saying?
So Bali, mate, how long are you going for?
Yeah, going to Bali. Going with Azza and Hendo and Clint, a couple of good mates. 4 or 5 nights with them, and then.
So is that not? I have a feeling that's not a training tour.
I don't think there'll be a training tour this time. I'll do my stuff, but there'll be no help.
I'd love that. There'll be no.
How much training will Hendo do?
That's about all the training.
You always love that Hendo. Hendo used to be able to be on the dance floor at like T2s or Arc back in the day and then go run a marathon.
Yeah, and climb trees. He's a tree lopper.
Mate, he's one of a
Don't know
kind.
how he's ever done it. Yeah,
He's
no, looking forward to that. And the kids are coming over as well.
So you leave next week?
Yeah, leave next Thursday. So looking forward to that. All right, let's get into it.
Yeah.
What do you want to start with, the Pacific Nations or
Yeah, if you want.
or you want to start with the Ashes?
Start with the Ashes.
All right, start with the Ashes. All right, so got up and watched this game. Actually, my alarm, for some reason I stuffed it up and I stuffed my alarm up, woke up at 2, didn't want to know the results, so I watched it at 2 in the morning, then I had to go into work at Fox. But yeah, I mean, it's been spoken about a lot, this game. People saying that the atmosphere wasn't good at Wembley, that it wasn't the greatest game, that the Aussies weren't that good, that England were poor, which was evident. I don't know. I kind of watched it thinking Australia were in control for the, even though there's no points scored for a while. I didn't have the volume up that loud because it was in the middle of the night and I had my daughters there. So I didn't really care about the atmosphere. I was just watching the game. And I thought Australia, considering that both teams had been put together in a short amount of time, I think people are underestimating the Aussies. I know they were hard on themselves as well, but I think they still played really well. And
You find when you come into camp early, like with minimal preparation, you're not going to have that fluency or cohesion.
no,
I mean, their completion rate was pretty poor, but were they in control the whole game?
yeah, they were in control.
100%.
What I loved about it was that Cleary put his ego aside and Cameron to a degree, and they just found a way of getting Reece the ball in open space at the right time, which is at the back end of the year, everything was around Broncos and whether they can unlock him. And then when Reynolds was out, Reece played his best. Then when Reynolds was coming back, they're like, well, Reynolds better unlock him. How's he going to unlock him? How's he going to approach it? He's going to put his ego aside. And I think the best way, I think the best way that it was put into practice was with the best team, and that's the Aussies, and that was Cameron and Nathan. Like, they just engaged the middle defenders, middle third of the field with, going into the line, playing square, and then just going whooshka out the back to Reece. And Reece just had space. He had numbers, and he's just so dangerous and lethal in that position. And they kind of just put their own, they didn't care that it wasn't them creating the opportunities, although Cameron did. Like, Cameron ended up playing pretty well, really well, but it was all about Reece. And that's what it's about. Like, how do you get your best player in the team? It's like with Newcastle and Ponga. Like, if you can unlock your best player, then you're probably 90% chance of winning the game.
Yeah.
And they come up with a plan, the strategy there with Kevy and the senior players and Willie as well over there in England. They just executed perfectly,
I think from what I saw, I thought Nathan and Munster's tempo was outstanding.
Yeah.
And before we get into Reece, during the call on Triple M, we threw to Benny Teo, who was in the Brisbane. He was at the game, and we spoke about Reece. And one thing that caught my surprise was he said how much of a student of the game Reece was, and how much video he does, and how much of a footy head he was. Where do you see Reece's game at the moment, and how much it's just thrived over the last couple of months? Because I think defensively, he saved those 2 tries.
Yeah, and he said that in the interview afterwards.
Yeah.
You could see it, that was what he was more proud about in himself.
I said it all year.
You did.
And some numbnut who I don't even know I don't think he watches the podcast. He saw the reel and he commented saying, "Mate, you'll bag any more year." It's so untrue.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've said it for a year and a half now, probably 2 years, because I went back to that Vegas when he played in Vegas.
Yeah,
and
you did. You've referred to that a lot.
That was 2 years ago. And I remember seeing it and thinking, this kid can be the best player in our game. And I've said it so many times. Like, his ability to move at speed and change direction without losing any speed, with power in his hips, and the skill he's got to be able to, play long when he's got it tight in his hip and play short if he can do anything. And you add to that being a student of the game, which is very unusual these days. A lot of the kids these days don't watch footy that much. Aren't so much students or historians, and and look back at ex-players and learn from them. They kind of just a new generation, which is fine, but he's got all of it. Like he's the next gen. He's also, you know, a student of the game, very intelligent, high footy IQ, but he's got every attribute that you need to be a great rugby league player. And, you know, even to start that test match, he come up with a poor pass and it was like, oh, they were the errors he was making. They were the rocks and diamonds at the, you know, before he went on that run. And then he reined it in and didn't make an error after it. His carries back from the kicks were unbelievable. They couldn't get their hands on him. And where have I got him? I've got him as the best player in the game right now. Yeah. Like, I don't think many could argue that.
Yeah. For someone who's such a young age, and you look at like who his mentors are, someone like Billy, right? So I didn't think we'd see anyone close to Billy for a while. But you can already see the sky's the limit.
He's got Billy covered, I reckon.
Well, he's on that trajectory.
Yeah. But he's not. He's not Billy, and he hasn't achieved what Billy has, and he's got a long way to go. But at his stage right now, I'll say it a bit clearer then. At his point in his career right now, compared to Billy at that same point, Reece is well ahead of him.
Of course, but there is no Reece without Billy.
Yeah.
And the biggest challenge I find for Reece, and I know Maddie said it the other morning when he did that show, is staying at the top for longer periods, given the attention he's going to get, the money he's going to make. There is so much more pressure on these kids now because of social media and the limelight being on them. It's can he hold that standard for the next 15 years, 10 years, whatever.
The challenge around that is because they made that grand final that they should have won, and the next year they fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
So that's why that is a great point that Matty brought up, because you know, when you got young players, because Penrith, what they've been able to achieve, and we've said it a lot too, it's not so much, it's the premierships, but it's every year having the motivation, the work ethic and the desire to you know, train their asses off, play to the same systems, be consistent and stay at the top. That's the biggest challenge, and it has been through the test of time. It just has been through history. That's why you don't see it. You don't see what Penrith have been able to achieve often, because it's hard to do. And that is the challenge for Brisbane. You know, they are a young, you know, pretty much, well, they've got the Dolphins there now, but one team town where they're put on a pedestal no matter how they perform. And we've said that they are rock stars, very different to lifestyle here in Sydney or anywhere else. And, you know, how do they respond to success is just as important as how do you respond from failure.
Yeah, there's so much to win one, you got to have the perfect chemistry of players, right? But to win four and like stay at the top for longer periods, that's where your roster is so important, that you got to have the right leaders within your group. Like Melbourne were blessed with it, with the big three, the big four.
Yep.
Penrith, you know, Isaiah Yeo, Fisher Harris, you got good leaders. They just drag everyone else along with them. And now it's Brisbane. How long can they stay at the top with such a young, exciting team? You know,
the thing that I want to see from him, and it won't happen in like the next 4 years, but it's probably the 4 years after that, when you just, because his biggest attribute right now is his pace. Like by far. So it'd be interesting to see what happens when he does start to lose a little bit of
that. That's miles away.
Well, yeah, miles away.
He hasn't even peaked yet.
I wouldn't even say he's reached his top speed.
No.
What you're saying is right, but that's 7 or 8 years away.
It's a while away.
That's the scary thing. That's the scary thing.
What about the rest of the Aussies? I know the back rowers played well. Tino really led from the front.
Tino was physical, put off a shot early.
Yep.
You know, Crichton was outstanding because
Angus was good.
Combination with Munster. You know, listen, like even Martin Wonganatuase, you know, they blocked him from his kick receives in good field position. You know, he nearly scored one, which was a great take, but he still had touches of class. There was, you know what, if I'm England, I'm going back at him and Stags. That when they did have joy, it was on them too.
Their edge.
Who was it again? It was George Williams, who had a really good start to the game, and he exposed them on that edge a few times when they had the numbers. They just, one would jam, one would stay out. So I'd be going back there. Listen, England were poor. Like, their defence was physical to start the game, but their edge defence was really diabolical. Like, they were kind of moving up in the middle and really passive on the edges, and that's why you talk about tempo.
Yeah.
That's where, you know, Cameron and Nathan had a field day. They let the defence make the decision of where their pass was going to go. They literally held the ball, moved quick, slow, and someone would go bang, and they just do that.
Okay.
Like it wasn't like they were going at them at speed and making them make tough decisions.
Yeah.
I expect them to improve a lot, England, because they couldn't be much worse. And the thing about the atmosphere, like Wembley is a stadium where they play everything at, so it didn't really benefit England as much as what you would want. Going to a smaller stadium, which they've got the next 2 weeks, I believe.
You're playing in Liverpool
more,
next.
more atmosphere.
And up in rugby league like territory.
Yeah, more rugby league territory. And another thing that we had a laugh about was the refereeing and how hard we're going to be refereed or policed. And we got some real good calls.
I think they were listening to the podcast.
Honestly, we got the better of the calls.
We've
gone global.
I heard.
VTFU's gone global.
Like they were laying on us late in the game, and probably the referee was letting it go a bit too much. But in terms of big calls that were momentum swingers and really probably had a lot to do with the result and the way the game went, I thought Australia got really the better of it, which was
I tell you who did play well from what I saw. Your man, Dom Young.
he had a go.
Mate, why did he run that hard the NRL?
Big spatial awareness. He was back, wouldn't he?
Me, man. Like
maybe he just needs to be back in
England. Someone actually sit him down and say, mate, you're 6'6", you run like the wind, right? You can give front rowers some trouble trying to get you down. Run through him, mate.
Yeah.
He's got trick moves at home.
Guy,
he needs to wear.
He looks in the mirror and he sees Alfie Langer and tries to play like him.
He's got to put his England jersey under his nose.
I can't remember who it was, but someone said I'd be playing AJ Brimson.
Yeah. So that was what I was going to go to next in terms of sort of what happens. Brimson, well, you're probably playing him anyway when you look at that English team. Their fullback Wellesley, he's a good player. Wellesby,
yeah.
He's a good player. He was Crichton went through 30 metres out and Wellesby was defending on the goal line. So I'd be putting him in for sure.
Where would you play him?
I think the teams have been named, haven't they? Oh, that's the names. Oh no, that's
I'm looking at last week.
I think AJ Brimson's starting.
Oh, so they have named him now.
I think they put him at fullback.
Did they put him at fullback? So he got dropped, Wellesby.
That was pretty poor.
That's a big dropping by him, even though he was poor.
I've heard big raps on that kid, Wellesby, but that Crichton try. It was just like, what are you doing? He wasn't good.
And Mikey's been the man of steel over there, and played at Hull.
Anyway.
Okay.
He's played at Hull KR for the Premiership. Plays under Willie. So I was even looking at signing him up actually as a player because I get along well with his manager over there in England, and I thought he could play NRL. He probably needs to prove that to himself now because he wasn't great on the weekend. Probably the quietest I've seen him.
Yeah,
He's also going up against the best of our
exactly,
best.
but that's when you got to.
That is true.
That's when you got to flex your muscles, and so they would have got to rocket up them this week because they were nowhere near it. They missed the mark. They need to be a lot better. Their completion rate was poor, as was the Aussies, but the Aussies have got too much class. Brimson comes in. I don't know if they get rid of that Jack Wardle in the centres. Everyone I've spoke to up on the Gold Coast about Brimson believe he's either a fullback or a centre. He's not a half.
No, he's definitely not a half.
That's why they're making moves up there. But yeah.
But he's one that he's got electrifying speed that can actually create play.
They need to create.
They definitely.
Do you think the English might have respected the Aussies too much? Like you're looking at that side. You watch them in NRL every week.
I hate to say it, but I don't know they coach that well.
Sean
Way, is it?
Yeah, he's been around forever.
Yeah, he has. And I saw Woodsy have a crack at him and all that. Over that.
What did Woodsy say?
Oh, he had a crack. Yeah,
he said he was boring, and
he said his motivational speech was like put him to sleep.
And then he come back and said, "Well, Woodsy was boring as a player," which is a fair comeback. He fired bullets back, but I don't know why I went there, but I don't like being critical, but I don't think they were coached very well that game, and he's probably got a lot of pressure on him now to improve that. If you're going to beat the Aussies, you got to be at your best. And the fact that they kept going left and getting joy, and then sort of went away from it, and they didn't ice their opportunities when they had them, which they could have easily done, which would have changed the game, which makes me think it's going to be a lot closer this next one. Everyone thinks, Australia's going to get better. And they probably think it's going to be another carve up, but I think they've got hell of a lot more in them. And I think if you add pride and passion and a home ground advantage next game, you know, and it's do or die for them too with the 3-game series, I think it's going to be a lot closer. I really do.
I got a question that's left of field. When you guys did the commentary, you got to sit on the couch opposite Matty. What was that like? Remember we spoke about it with Gordy. You did it with Matty Johns
On
Fox.
Yeah. No, it was good.
Yeah, it was,
Like, we did like a goggle box.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
A different
It was
approach.
Sunday morning.
Sunday morning.
Sunday morning. Yeah.
For the people who hadn't got up to watch the game, and we kind of acted like we hadn't watched it, but I had. And Matty's good because we just spoke over it to it, like, and it was cool because he's always got a high IQ, so he knows the game back to front, and he's got a bit of he's got a good sense of humour, so we had a laugh as well. But it was a good little take. It was
good to actually see the two of them together because obviously you both have your big shows.
I'm surprised Matty got up on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, I was surprised he was there too.
How was his head?
And he was actually all right.
Yeah.
He slept. Yeah. But I was trying to say, because even for Vegas, we're trying to get a show, combine the two shows for just the week, you know, instead of having, you know, the Matty Johns and the 360, just a little compact show to get the week started over there. But because I think they're trying to cut costs. But anyway, let's get to the Pacific Championships. And Reni,
Who won?
Mate,
you would have been happy with this one, mate.
685, baby. Let's go. Nah, look, it was exciting. You know, I didn't get to enjoy it as much as I wanted to because of obviously doing the call at Triple M, but it made me certainly take notice of the game. Just to see the build-up, the crowd, like, it's got to be almost a permanent fixture. In the past, I know from when I spoke to Frank Pulatua back in the day, you remember they had like a few games at Penrith Stadium?
Yeah.
NRL were running at a loss to put those games on, and no one understood that. And I haven't been around the NRL for a long time, so I don't know exactly what numbers they're doing. But from an international perspective, and to see that game sell out and the parades and just the amount of attention that went around this game, I think was something the NRL have to look at having as a permanent fixture, or maybe every 2 years, I'm not sure.
Well, you had 44,000 people there.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was crazy.
It's a shame about that weather delay.
It was a shame. Did you see, I loved old mate. Did you see him like when it's absolutely pissing out and hailing? He's just standing there like freedom. I just loved it.
That was like I've never seen anything like it. Like hail, the field was flooded. I thought, fuck, they can't go back out there. But in terms of like the game itself, it was 50-50. The market had them at $1.90 each.
It's $1.90 each. Take your pick.
Right, and that's the way I saw it. But then you could see within the first 10 minutes, Samoa were just too powerful, too strong. They were finding their front defensively, their line speed. And I think playing against the Kiwis the week before was a massive advantage for the Samoan boys because you could see fatigue kick in pretty quickly for Tonga. And they were holding on. I knew that game was going to open up at some point. I think Junior Paulo was as a captain, he was outstanding.
Yeah, he was.
Jeremiah Nanai.
Oh,
he's the best.
So
he's the most skillful back row I've ever seen, bar none. Like him under the high ball, one-handed, grabs it, scores that try. Important try under the post.
Yeah, he had a day out. I thought, like, looking at both teams, I just can't believe how good they are. Like, like 1 to 17, you're going, wow. Like, how far has our game come? And look at these two nations now that we've got representing, Tonga and Samoa. Like, this is only the beginning, and it really it excites me. Like, Payne Haas, Adam Fanua Blake, Molo, Utoi Manu, Nanai, Katoa, Halasima, Sasangi, Kafusi up against, like, this is crazy. And they had players out too, both teams. Yeah. Like, get to next year's World Cup and beyond, and we're going to have genuine World Cups now. Like, this is going to be full on, and I love it. In terms of the game, I really think it was a game, like, you're right, Samoa was just too good from the get-go, but it was also moments. Like, Samoa last week didn't ice their moments against New Zealand.
Yeah.
And the big difference was this week they did. And as they iced the first couple, they got confidence and momentum. And then often in any sport, once you get that confidence and belief that you can get over the try line, it sort of snowballs. On the other side, Tonga had a couple of really pivotal moments. where if they just changed the momentum with a try that they should have scored or a moment that they should have iced, it could have been very different. I think the score could have been a lot different. And that was, you know, the try that Iongi dropped over the line, although it was late and they were about 16 behind.
Yeah, that was 16.
That would have changed everything.
Yeah.
You know, there was a controversial one where Mick Innes was saying it should have been 10 in the bin. That was the same one.
That was
when they put the chip over and
RTS. No, he held his ground.
Mick was strong on that on Fox. I didn't think it was a 10 in the bin. Like, you could have blown a penalty because he could have maybe just moved a tiny bit. It wasn't enough for me to go 10 in the bin, though.
I thought it was a penalty for sure.
I reckon penalty, you know.
Penalty's fair.
Did they get the ball back?
No,
they did get a penalty, didn't they?
Did they get? I think they did.
I can't remember.
I think they ended up. I think they may have in the end.
I think they may have got a penalty in the end, but I was happy with that. Probably the start of the game with Molo Stefano.
Even that moment, Ren.
That was big.
That's 10 in the bin. Changes everything.
That changes everything.
You know, so there was a few things that went Samoa's way.
Well, we've spoken about it at length, and cohesion and flow and rhythm. Like, Samoa had an extra week. Tonga weren't patient with the ball. They were creating. Sonny Luke, when he came in through the middle, was creating opportunities because they were holding on for dear life.
A problem they do have too is Iongi's not a 5'8".
Well, that's another thing. So
you know, like
it was the halves.
Katoa just sort of, I felt like it wasn't his best, but it was all on him, like in organisation and execution. Which is hard, you know, like. When you got a fullback playing 5'8", he's just not used to it, and it's a tough one. Still a great player, Iongi. I'm a big fan.
And Jerome's genuinely become a seven now, hasn't he?
Jerome.
I don't jump the gun because the week before the question mark was, geez, has he really iced 7?
Yeah,
and even though he had a good game, Talangi was great, but like I still don't think it's his position.
No, I still think he's still a 6.
Yeah.
He's still a 6.
He did great. Like, I'm not trying to park. Like, he did amazing.
I should have reworded that. He stood up as a 7.
Yes.
That was the
one of his better 7 performances. You know.
I think in my call on Triple M, I was a little bit critical of the performance because I see them as, I call it how I want to see them play against Australia. You know, they left points out there. They didn't ice a couple of moments. There were more points on that field. Jerome's organisation was better. You know, he does that double drop play for a block. I think he needs to maybe square into the line before he plays out the back with that block.
And I think when he drops it off too, you know, he's dropping them off. Like, he's not going square straight, then turning shoulders, and then he can hit that man, but then also run. When you kind of drop someone off, the idea is that you can always run if someone slides off you, either out or in. Whereas, you know, with him, he's facing sideways the sideline, and he's just got the hand like that, which is okay when you're laying a line, but he does it. He kind of sells that a lot. Do you ever see him dummy and run himself with that play? You don't, do you?
You kind of know what's sort of coming, and that's And I'm only just being critical because I want them to be better. Like, for me, like, why don't be a hater? I'm like, no, I'm not hating. I want them to be best. I want them to do well in the final. They've booked themselves in the final now, and I'm over in Samoa on that day. Like, I've already seen the parades back from last week. You should see the parades back there. Like, it's giving me goosebumps thinking about it. You should
call the game over there. Samoa on radio.
I tell you what, I just need to find maybe a quiet resort to go watch it because I'm excited for this. But what I love
break your little health retreat in the first weekend.
You know what? My biggest fear, there's some fear, is like,
is that you and
when you put fucking palusami in front of me, corned beef, pisupo, rice, chop suey, it's fucking game over, bro. I'm eating all of it, you know. But
I want to touch on a player, young Benaya.
He was great, and I thought he started over Jazz Tavanga.
Yeah,
and he was crafty out of 9.
I've watched him.
Jazz Tavanga.
No, young Benaya, and he's at the so. It's going to be hard for him because they've got Reece Robson at the Roosters next year. He's like almost third string. I think he's a young talent of the game.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He made his debut last week off the back of some HIAs, I think. So he was 18th man.
And he got a start.
And then he got a start. He was great. I think the biggest thing for me, takeaway, was I loved the short passing game between the middle forwards. Terrell May, Payne Haas. Who was that other little tip too? But anyway, they're promoting the ball and just running into space.
Yep.
I think, it was a good, solid performance, and they get a week off now, and then they'll see. I think Tonga have to beat New Zealand by 17 points to get a
Tonga can win, I believe.
New Zealand weren't great.
No, I think Tonga can win.
They can beat New Zealand?
Yeah. I'm not tipping them. I wouldn't say I'm tipping them. I'd take them with the start, whatever it is. I just think Tonga, they'd be so disappointed in that performance. And moments they didn't ice them. We saw with Samoa an extra week. They iced them the next week and they were a different team. I think Tonga can do a similar thing. And, New Zealand, I thought, they were great, but I thought Samoa should have won that game if they'd iced.
Yeah.
I said it on the podcast. So,
but overall, the spectacle of that game and the growth of the international game and the support of Tongans and Samoans here in Brisbane, but in Australia, I think that speaks volumes for where our game's headed. And I thought it was great. Awesome.
All right, so did I. Moving forward, November 1 is approaching. We have seen the papers and some movement with Fifita possibly going to the Bunnies. It seems like it's done.
Chamis is saying it's a done deal.
It's done. It's been done for a while. Tino, he's executing his clause. He can talk to anyone as of November 1. Tom Trbojevic has re-signed with Manly for a year.
1 year.
For a year. And then Sandon Smith as well. That was another one that signed with the Knights. I'm not sure there's any others I can think of. But is Fifita a good buy for South?
Yes, definitely. They need forwards. I think Wayne Bennett's the only person for Dave now.
Is he another player that needs a cuddle? Is that the Wayne Bennett cuddle?
Possibly, yeah. Like he's sky's the limit for Dave. Like his potential is, and what he can do, and what we've seen him do in pockets of his career, is outstanding. But it's the consistency and being able to do it week in, week out that's been lacking in Dave's career. And I don't know if it's through motivation. I don't know if it's a mental thing. I don't know the facts. But as an observant, it's like he kind of wants it, but he doesn't. It's like he's got 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
I'm going to say
at periods of his career.
I'm going to say this. I think he's a good buy, and I think South need big bodies with a bit of footwork and a bit of creativity as a forward. They don't really have that in terms of impact in games and creating second phase and giving more time and space opportunity to their spine when their spine's fit. So I think it's a really good buy. I don't want to be negative. I'll just play a little bit of devil's advocate here.
Yep.
I think we're going to learn a lot about South, but we're going to learn a lot about Wayne, and we're going to learn a lot about Dave with this signing. So you were saying it there, and I've heard it a million times.
Yeah.
Wayne's the right man for David. Wayne's the best coach ever. I've said it. Right? You hear it. Well, he re-energizes and revitalizes and brings players back that no other coach can do. The question mark is, can he still do that?
Yeah,
that's what we're going to see this year because he's nearly 80, right? He's getting on. Now, they had a lot of injuries this year, South, but he's still supposedly the greatest coach of all time, But is he? And has he still got it? And that's going to be a big thing this year. It's going to be like, because if they don't have injuries, South, they will be expected to be easily in the 8. And with Fifita and all that, I think they can push for top 4 and be a dark horse. I really do. But a lot of that is, for me, relying on Wayne and what he's been able to achieve and what we think he can. But this is a big year. And then on the flip side with Dave, this is his last chance.
Yeah.
And he's done this now a number of times where we've said, look at him. They just haven't got the best out of him. He hasn't been coached right. He's a freak. He just, we're going to find out, right? Because we've supposedly got now the best coach with a kid who he's the only
How
one
old
who's
is
got
he
the answer
now?
for.
Still,
He was on $1 million a year at the Titans. Like, geez, he got
coming into mid-20s, wouldn't he?
At least you'd have to be 24 something.
24. The thing with Wayne,
do you reckon they got their money's worth there?
Yeah, but like
about as much as Lewis Dodd.
How many coaches have the balls to let someone like him go? No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Zero.
I reckon.
Well, Brisbane let him go at first because they tried and tried and tried.
Remember
and
last year, this is a good point you bring up, and it's probably a good thing for other clubs and coaches to keep an eye on. Remember they went to let him go. Well, they didn't want to let him go, but he went to leave, and Penrith and the Roosters wanted him. Remember that?
Yeah, Roosters almost signed him.
They both did. And then he ended up backflipping on it to stay with Desi, like got into him and got him to stay. And look where that imagine if, like, we don't know what would have happened at Penrith or Roosters, right? But look what happened at the Titans. They would have been better off letting him go then, you know, but because it was Dave and the potential and it was, you know, we need him and at all costs, maybe it wasn't the right fit and he didn't want to be there. So they just wasted another year and $1 million. You know what I mean? Like, if you've got a feel for something and you got to have the balls to make those tough calls. You know, like they didn't have it.
You mentioned Wayne. I don't reckon he's coached for 10 years, 15 years now. It's just his presence, I reckon. Like, there's, I dare say, like, I'm only guessing that most of his assistant coaches are doing the coaching in terms of you're not going to get Wayne in front of a computer. That's well known. Well, but what I'm saying is like...
No, you're right is what I'm saying.
He sounds like a Johnny Lewis. He's a great motivator.
Well, that's right. So you just need his presence around to get the best out of people.
Does that mean you maybe have him step back as a head coach and you have him as something else?
Just have him around. You know, like he absorbs all the headlines and
he loves it. He's a freak and he's funny and the boys love him and that's why. And I love that. That's what you need as a coach. Not enough coaches understand that.
He's the Bart Cummings of football.
You're not going to teach first graders how to play first grade.
Yeah.
You just got to be good mentors for them. You got to manage them as men.
But what we're going to learn this year is, does he have that impact? Does he have that aura still? Yeah. You know, that's what I'm interested to see, because it's that aura and that reputation and that relationship he has with the players that is why he's where he is and why he's such an attraction, why any team he's at, they demand success, you know? So, yeah, it's probably one of the biggest tests for him.
What about Tino? What are your thoughts there?
I said months ago on here that I reckon Melbourne will make a big play at him. That was when they were trying to get rid of Nelson the first time. And I was like, that'd be a perfect buy for them. Like, he started there in Melbourne. They didn't want it. They were spewing that they stuffed that up and he left. And now he's in his prime and they've got the money now. No, I'm hearing, again, perhaps most likely won't be there next year. No Nelson, the money there for Jonah that they had, a few other little things going on there. They're going to have money for Tino if they want him.
Mm-hmm. Where does Paps go?
I don't want to talk about that. I don't know.
Not sure. I did read somewhere there's a lot of Bulldogs players coming off contract from November 1. Do you think they'll make a play for him?
Or 10 of them.
10?
Well, how could they lose? Who are they going to lose that's going to free up, 1.1 a year or whatever it may be?
Well, if there's 10 of them on 100 grand.
I was G'ing up with the 10. Who are they? I said they'll need 10. That's what I said. They'll need 10.
Everyone's on 100 grand.
Because you
get rid of 10. We're going to get Tino. We only need to field.
I was being sarcastic.
I miss your sarcasm. Sorry.
Yeah, I was like, if there's 10 players, we don't know their names, so they can't be costing much. You know, right. Like, again, like I'd love Tino there, and he's the missing piece for the Dogs. Like, what a team! Like, I hope he goes there. I mean, if he goes there, for me, they go from top 4 to dead set premiership nearly favourites.
Well, it goes to show any team he just about goes to, he will lift them drastically.
Such a good player.
So he is technically, he's got another year on his contract at Titans.
I mean, he signed a fucking multi-year deal. It's just that there's clauses every year. Right. It's crazy.
What about the mentality of a player to activate that? Do you think he's just had enough?
Yeah. Like, why would you activate that if you're not going to leave?
Yeah.
Like, why would you?
Didn't he threaten to activate it last year?
He's threatened the last couple of years. But I think this year, I don't know if they got to November 1 though last year.
Okay.
I think like they must have re-signed him or got rid of that clause before November 1. But if he's talking to other clubs, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
Titans. Like, because then what happens is once you entertain that, you go, you see the clubs, you talk to them, the money goes up. Yeah. You see premiership, the eyes start lighting up, and you go,
It's not the best start for Josh Hannay, is it?
Oh, no. And Lockie, I just signed Lockie up there too. So.
Oh, did you?
He's got no forward pack to play half line. That'd be mad. Sorry, mate.
At least you'll get to play first grade.
No, I don't know what's going on. Lockie's going up there today, but I don't know. I don't know if I hope he stays there now, but for that reason. But if he doesn't, I think if he went to Melbourne or the Bulldogs, like they are both teams that you'd just love to be a part of.
Yeah.
Like, how do you knock that back?
How does Lockie feel about going to the Gold Coast?
No, he's stoked, man, because last year was just a disaster for him in terms of not just like it was just a bad experience, like the whole thing, because he just didn't. Well, we feel he didn't get a fair crack. Like he didn't set the world on fire. I've said that, but he was solid, and then he just didn't get another chance in a team that was struggling and that failed.
I think JC would agree with you too.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I questioned a lot of things. Like I still question things there, and I've had my conversations with the club, and they haven't been able to give me the answers that makes me think that there's not some crap going on there. You know, like if they'd given me genuine answers that he didn't train hard, he wasn't on the field long enough, the boys didn't like him, or he wasn't playing well in reserve grade. He was playing great in reserve grade. The boys love him there, wanted him to play, and he was the first on the field, last one off it. So, it's hard to justify not getting another chance, just a chance, So, yeah, not bad taste in our mouths that did last year. So I'm really, in terms of him, it's great for him because he's a fresh start. I spoke to Hene quite a while ago on the phone, and I'm really impressed with what was coming out of his mouth in terms of what he wants to do up there. And he's a big development coach.
Yeah.
So he said, I really think I can develop him into a lot better player and to get where he needs to get to. And that's a big thing for me. When I looking at players for clubs, it's the big one is development and opportunity. Like how can the player reach his peak and be the best that he can be, and what's the opportunity there in terms of him playing and getting to the top grade? And that's somewhere where I think for him at the Gold Coast, he's going to have really good development and coaching, and he's going to get an opportunity. And that's great for him, a fresh start.
And any updates on Munster?
No, there's nothing. I mean, he's loving it over there. He's enjoying the trip. Played great in first game. He's locked in. He said it himself. He's locked in with Melbourne, and he's always been happy there.
Yeah, he's always been happy.
They were the ones that kind of, started the conversation about Perth, not us. So that was important and he said that. He goes, we haven't never entertained anything. If it's coming from somewhere, it's not us. So that was the most important thing for him. Turbo, 1 year deal with Manly. I'm not surprised by that. Are you guys?
Did they offer him more than 1 year? Or he only wanted 1 year?
I don't know.
The logistics of that, yeah.
There was a lot of the one talk that was going around was that who's the bloke that owns it? That Penn's going to sell. So there is a consortium that is real because I know one of the big stockbroker involved in the consortium. I don't think you've heard any more there.
No, I think they've squashed that now.
He's not going to sell.
No, they've squashed that. They're denying
your
that.
mail's good.
No,
I've got a feeling he's right.
No, can I tell you the consortium was 100% real.
Okay.
But they denied it.
What the price? He came out and said, "Oh, that's for sale at 30 mil." He goes, "No, the real offer's only 20." He's trying to use the media to push it.
Right.
The people that are involved in that consortium kind of want him out because he's never here. He's here for 4 games a year or something. They want to develop the junior league. The people that are involved are genuine lovers of the Manly area and want to see Manly become better than what it is because they've been a pretender side for a long time.
Just the concern I've got with Manly, if I was a fan of theirs, I'd be nervous going into next year.
Your man Fogarty, pressure?
I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But I just, it was a bit of a tough year for him with DCE and negative press and, Seabold under pressure and then you move on to this year and it's like, okay, Tom signed a 1 year. You've got Fogarty coming in instead of DCE. I don't know.
What do you do with, and then you got young Hopewadi. What do you do with him again?
I don't know. They need a big off season and they need to reunite that group and whatever it takes to get stronger because they're going to need to be tight this year as a group and as a club because it's not going to be easy.
Well, Foz brings that foreign.
Yeah, great signing. When they signed him, I was like, perfect. That's exactly what they need.
What did they sign him as, assistant or halves coach?
Well, whatever. Just have him around.
Just having him at that club.
He's a Manly legend.
Yeah.
And that group that he played with, you've still got, I think Chocky might be around, Snake might be around, but you got to bring back the DNA, the fabric of that jersey, and that's that period, like the 2010
Golden era.
Golden era, yeah.
I think the team I'm pumped to see is Parramatta, especially with Jonah. Just 1 year. I know it's only with the 1 year. Just what roles he was able to do in that last 8 weeks. I'm not saying they're going to win a comp.
No, you think they'd evolve though?
I think they're going to evolve again.
Yeah, if Moses stays fit, they'll be dangerous. There's no doubt. Let's have a quick touch before we get to the end here on the NRL overnight, meeting with the Super League, and then probably just talk more about all this, the global game, and trying to the evolution of the game and get to the countries, and even the round one they're talking about in a few years, which could be in Miami, Dubai, France.
I'm going to reinforce this. We played in the worst era ever.
We were duds, eh?
Fucking hell,
we
man.
were boring. We got shafted.
We miss Super League. We miss all the new salary caps.
We're in between Super League and
we don't even get healthcare.
I thought this. I'll start off then. I think in terms of the NRL and Super League, I think it'd be a really good thing to invest money and expertise and professionalism, experience into the English Super League, grow it over there. That obviously makes the game stronger in one of our key areas. And then in France as well, I'd do the same. And then, we can look at playing everywhere else. But that's what I'd be doing first. I'd be really invested in the Super League and building that brand and working on the TV rights and getting exposure over there. I think the NRL, with the money they've made and how well they've done, they can do that and make money off it as well. This playing all over the world for round one.
Yeah.
We struggle enough to get Vegas up. Like, I can talk from a broadcaster's point of view. Like, the money that Fox spend and are hesitant now to spend because they're not guaranteed the rights for the next deal, which I'm pretty confident Nine and Fox which should stay the same. That's what I'm hearing, but it's still nowhere near an end. The money that's spent on production and sending people over and cameras and shows and all that, and just the logistics and players even flying overseas, coming back to play here, recovery, jet lag, all that. To add that to another, 6 or 7 teams, 8 teams, 10 teams if it's 5 games.
By 2027.
What?
Too ambitious?
Well, who's paying for it?
Yeah.
The Saudis.
Is it a reaction to R360 or is it truly on this globalization that he's spoken about? I love the globalization, but is it a reality? Is it realistic?
I think one place they've left out is Toronto. There is a little bit a little bit of a footprint of rugby league there with the Toronto Wolfpack. We had good support over there. I know it's fucking winter. It's fucking minus 30 degrees over there at that time of year, but surely there's an indoor stadium somewhere. I like it. I like the idea of expansion. I like to globalise our game. I think it's a little bit too ambitious, but just the thought of it, because I feel like R360's gone a little bit quiet.
I think.
I don't know if that's.
Well, I'll tell you why it's gone quiet, because no one's allowed to talk to him.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
so the only reason, the reason it was not
genius.
Well,
no, but no, not necessarily. It doesn't mean nothing's going ahead. It just means our media's not allowed to talk about it.
The reason no one's talking about it is because if no one's allowed to talk to them, well, then you're not going to hear anything, because then. They're not going to be talking to them.
And they're not, and people now can't really report on it because you're a chance of getting banned for 10 years.
It's a strange one, I'd love to speak to them. That's my thing. And I do have a contact to speak to them. I want to speak to them, not to sell players to them, but just to say, okay, what does this look like? Where's the money coming from? I want to get details. So I'm actually going to dive into it. So hopefully in the next few weeks I can have something for us here. But I want to go right to, because I know who the guys are that are in control with it, and I want to see how real it is. I want to see where it's coming from. I want to see their goals, their business plan, all that. And then, because then really I'm not going to get in trouble because I'm not selling my players. Want to know. I want information.
You're doing journalistic work.
Yeah, you just want to find out, because I'm in my head, I'm thinking, I really want to speak to these guys.
As a manager, you have an obligation to sort of look into it deeper.
Of course you do. Of course you do. And I've said that. I said it on Triple M, If I didn't have the profile I've got in the game, I'd be talking to them already. But I don't want to shit on our game. I feel like I don't want to, do the wrong thing by our code and look like I'm trying to. But I do want to find out more about it.
Yeah.
Because it's.
I don't think anyone's been able to dive deep into what it actually is and what it looks like, who's paying for it, where's the money coming from. No one's reported on it. It's just like R360's there.
Yeah.
But no one knows any sort of background around it. So
I want to get to the bottom of that. Anyway, I think we're going to do a preview this week.
Well, just see what games are coming up. I think PNG,
they're the 3 games.
So the Unibet preview. Aaron, what do you got for us?
We've got Papua New Guinea, $2.05, Fiji, $1.77.
Yeah, that's in PNG, right? They've got all games there, right? Cook Island's bowed out.
Did Risco do on Fiji this year?
Sorry?
Risco do on Fiji?
No, Sato is.
Oh, Sato.
Sato's been with the Fijian side.
What's the mail? Any chance?
I think whoever wins that game plays the loser of New Zealand and Tonga.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Someone correct me if I'm wrong. What's the next one, Mud?
Next game
is 90.
and then
$5.90.
Australia,
Do you know what?
Australia $1.12, England $5.90, 18.5
I'd
start.
take the 18.5 because I think, I think Australia will win, but I think it's going to be harder. I think both teams will get better, but we all know in deciders, no matter what the odds are with games like this, in an away game.
18.5.
What if it rains? Just say the weather turns and it rains. 18.5.
Well, it's up north, isn't it, where the weather's really shit?
Yeah, like that was you wouldn't see
That's
better
our country.
You wouldn't see better conditions than the last game. Like that was
Yeah.
It looked like it was middle of
It looked
summer.
like it was here.
So the likelihood of what was that?
I said, isn't that where the weather's shit? He said, it's the whole country.
No, I lived there. I loved it.
Well, that's why they're all here.
My three
Go to
years over
Coogee.
there.
You know why they're all here.
The atmosphere was huge.
Seriously.
18.5 start. Wow.
I'd take the 18.5
Yeah, I would
England.
too.
All right.
Yeah.
And then we go New Zealand, $1.37, Tonga, 3.10 and 8.5
I'd be taking Tonga with the start. But I'm tipping New Zealand, but Tonga with the start.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with that. I think they're up for
Desperate times, desperate measures.
Yeah, correct. And it'll be more Tongan fans. There'll be more red jerseys than black jerseys in that crowd. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, do we say farewell to you for this episode?
Yeah.
So, Reni, we'll see you after Christmas now.
After Christmas, boys.
You're done.
Yeah, I'm done, man.
What are we going to do as with this potty? Have you got any ideas? We haven't really planned too much for it.
We may have a guest next week.
We may have a guest. We're definitely on next Wednesday.
Can I call in next week?
I'll be away after that for 12 days.
You're away for 12 days.
Yeah.
We'll have a break that week.
Yeah.
It's either that or get me and Tommy. We can talk about his shirt pics or shirtless pics.
Get your shirt off, Tommy. Yeah. 75 soft.
That'd be good, Tommy Gunn.
All right, that's it for the 180 podcast. Have a great week.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.